It began on a rainy Tuesday evening, the kind where the streets glisten with reflections and the sky can't decide if it wants to cry or scream. Jenna sat in her dimly lit apartment, her phone in hand, scrolling through pictures of her younger brother, Nathan. He'd passed away 5 days ago in a brutal car accident on a highway just outside of town. Her grief hadn't even begun to settle. It sat on her chest like a sleeping giant, growing heavier by the hour. Nathan had always been the adventurous one, always pulling Jenna into wild schemes or dragging her up mountain trails she had no business climbing. He had a smile that made people trust him too easily, a habit of texting people jokes at the most inappropriate times, and a collection of ugly sneakers he refused to throw away. Jenna's phone vibrated. At first, she thought it was a calendar notification or maybe an email. But when she looked down, her breath caught in her throat. A message from Nathan. "Jenna, don't trust him." She froze, hands trembling. The message sat there on the screen, with Nathan's contact photo, him grinning with 2 thumbs up, smiling back at her. Her heart pounded as she stared at the screen. It had to be a prank, a glitch, or someone who got access to his phone. She checked the timestamp. 6:48 p.m. Just now, for a full minute, Jenna couldn't move. When she finally did, she called Nathan's number. Straight to voicemail, she opened their old chat history. The last real message was from 6 days ago, hours before his crash. "Made it to the trail. No signal up here. Wish me luck." But now, this message. "Don't trust him." She didn't sleep that night. The next morning, Jenna went to the police. She showed them the message. The officer, a tired-looking man with kind eyes, nodded and took notes but said it was probably someone hacking into Nathan's phone or a scheduled message delayed in the network. She could tell he didn't believe anything supernatural was happening. Jenna wasn't so sure. She called Nathan's best friend, Caleb, the guy who'd helped her with funeral arrangements and spoken at the memorial. They'd been inseparable since middle school. Caleb was quiet on the phone when she told him about the message. "Don't trust who?" Jenna asked. "I don't know," Caleb replied, a little too fast. "Maybe he meant me. I don't know." "What? Why would he say that?" I don't know, Jenna. I really don't." There was a long silence, then Jenna heard something strange. A sound on the line. "Like heavy breathing, Caleb. Are you okay?" But the line had already gone dead. That night, Jenna dreamed of Nathan. He stood at the foot of her bed, soaked from the rain, mud on his jeans, eyes wide with fear. He opened his mouth to speak but only blood came out. She woke up gasping. The next day, Caleb's body was found in the woods outside the same highway where Nathan had crashed. The official report said suicide. But Jenna knew better. 2 days later, she got another message. "He's coming for you next." She moved out of her apartment the same day and stayed with a friend across town. Her phone never left her hand. She began digging. Looking through Nathan's old posts, his photos, emails, texts. Anything that could explain what was happening. She found nothing, until she checked his cloud storage. There was a video. Dated the day he died. In the video, Nathan is in the car, parked at the edge of the woods. His face is pale, and his hands are shaking as he films himself. "If anything happens to me, it's not an accident," he says. "Caleb and I found something in the woods. Something ancient. We didn't mean to wake it up. I think it's following us." Jenna paused the video, her stomach turning to ice. "We took something we shouldn't have," Nathan says. "He took it. Caleb. He said it was just a relic. But I saw what it did to that deer. I saw what it did to the sky." The video ends with Nathan turning the camera toward the trees. "There's a shape there. Tall. Wrong. Like it's made of smoke and mirrors." The video ends in static. Jenna didn't leave her friend's house for days. She started seeing things in the corners of her vision. Her reflection would lag in the mirror. Lights would flicker when she passed point. One night, she woke up to find her phone recording on its own. A voice whispered, "Return what was stolen." Jenna didn't know what it meant. But she knew where to go. She drove to the woods alone, back to the place Nathan had last been seen alive. It was almost midnight when she arrived. The trees swayed without wind. The air felt thick, like syrup. She walked until her phone buzzed. Another message. You're close. Then another. Behind you. She spun around, and the world went black. She woke up at sunrise, lying beside a moss-covered stone etched with strange symbols. In her pocket, a small, jagged object she didn't recognize. It pulsed faintly in her hand. A final message appeared on her phone. Bury it. Deep. Never come back. She did. She never told anyone what happened. She moved to a new city. Changed her number. Got a new phone, but sometimes, late at night, she gets texts from an unknown number. No words, just pictures. Of the woods. Of the stone. Of her. Through the mist, through the past, the screen of my phone was still lit up. The message still there. ***, don't trust him. I'm not dead. No name. No number. Just the words, etched into my retinas, my mind, and whatever sanity I had left. The world around me spun, trees looking like twisted limbs, moonlight casting shadows that seemed to crawl. When I finally reached the gate at the edge of the cemetery, it creaked open like a tired, groaning warning. I turned back. There was nothing behind me. No sounds. No movement. Only the thick silence that fell like a blanket after a scream. I thought about going to the police. But what would I say? My dead friend texted me warning me that someone I trust might have murdered him. They'd lock me up or drug me out of consciousness. That I needed help. Someone else. Someone who had known Ryan. Someone who could verify this wasn't just trauma clawing at my brain. I thought of Kara. Ryan's ex. They broke up months before his death, but they were still close, and she was the last person he called the night he died. I drove to her apartment. I didn't call. I didn't text. I just showed up. When she opened the door, she looked like she hadn't slept in days. Her face paled more when she saw mine. I know, she said. You know what? I stammered. Come in. I did. Slowly. Watching her carefully. Something about her tone felt rehearsed, like she'd been waiting to say those words. Kara walked over to her table, pulled out a drawer, and placed a sealed envelope in front of me. It came in the mail 3 days ago. It's from Ryan. Postmarked 2 days after his funeral. My heart dropped. I opened it slowly, hands trembling. The letter inside was scrawled, messy, almost panicked. ***, if anything happens to me, it wasn't an accident. It wasn't suicide. He'll try to make it look that way. He said he would. I didn't believe him. Now I think he's serious. If this letter reaches anyone, let them know, Daniel knows something. Daniel was his brother, his twin brother. I remembered the funeral, how Daniel barely spoke. How he refused to look anyone in the eye. How he smiled, just a little, when the casket was lowered into the ground. Kara looked at me. You think he sent that text too, don't you? I nodded. I think Ryan planned something. Something digital. Maybe a scheduled message. But why wait until now? What if it wasn't planned? What if it's really him? Her eyes searched mine, and for the first time in hours, I saw something even worse than fear, hope. That night, I couldn't sleep. I stared at the text again and again. Don't trust him. I'm not dead. I kept thinking about that wording. Not, he killed me. Not, help me. Just that I wasn't sure what it meant, but when I finally drifted into sleep, my dreams were stained with static and shadows. A voice whispered my name, Ryan's voice. Calling me from behind a wall. A mirror. A phone screen. When I woke up, my phone buzzed, ***, one new message ***, same number. No contact, ***, he knows you read it. Run. I dropped the phone. My apartment suddenly felt smaller. Darker. I ran to the window. A figure was standing across the street, not moving, wearing the exact same clothes Ryan was buried in. My heart screamed. I grabbed my keys and backed away slowly. The door to my apartment creaked. I didn't leave it open. Another buzz, ***, he's inside. I turned just in time to see the shadow by the hallway. Not Daniel, not Ryan, but something with both their faces, melded together in a grotesque, twitching expression. One eye cried while the other smiled. One side aged, the other fresh. Their voices overlapped, speaking in a sound that felt like it was tearing the room in half. I warned you not to look too deep. I ran that I don't remember leaving the apartment, that I don't remember the stairs, only the sound of my own heartbeat and the phone still buzzing in my hand. By the time I reached the street, the figure outside was gone, only the cold remained. That I fled the city. Drove for hours until the skyline disappeared and the fields swallowed the world. That I don't know where I am now. That a motel off some road that isn't even on Google Maps, and yet, the phone still works, still buzzes. New message. This time with a picture, Ryan, alive, hooked to machines, eyes open, mouth sewn shut, caption ***, we didn't bury him. We buried a shell. I screamed. There was a knock at the door, slow, measured. That I approached, pressed my eye to the peephole. N01. Then the phone buzzed one last time. You looked. He's coming now. The lights flickered, the air turned thick, and somewhere in the silence, the echo of Ryan's voice whispered, I never died. I was taken. I dropped the phone, but even as it hit the floor, the screen stayed on, the message burned, and the final horror I could not escape ** delivered. 1:02 a.m. ***.